Solving problems involving more than one right triangle. So in this diagram, it's asking us to calculate the length of side P. And side P is a side length in a right triangle. It's this right triangle here, but we have two triangles. And like I was saying before, to find a side length or an angle or whatever it is that you need in a right triangle, you have to have three pieces of information about that triangle. You have to have a right angle, which we have in that triangle up there. You have to have a side length, which we have, but we also need another angle or side length, and we don't have that in this triangle over here. And so we need to somehow find a side length or an angle in that triangle so that we can find side P. When you have this kind of question, one thing to look for is something that's common between the two triangles that you're given. What's common here between these two?
Middle.
That line in the middle, right? So if we look at this triangle on the left, we do have a right angle, a side length, and an angle. So we should be able to find that side. If we find that side, then that gives us enough information in the other triangle. So these questions are going to take 2 or 3 steps to get to the answer. It's not just straightforward like the ones we've been doing where you can just find the one thing you need. You need to take a couple of steps. So in this one, we're going to start by finding this side length, and I'm just going to label it X. I need to look at the triangle on the left to be able to do it. If we're working with the triangle on the left, what would you call side X? Opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse?
That's the opposite.
Opposite, right. Opposite the angle 43, which is the angle that we know. And how about this 4.7? Hypotenuse. Opposite and hypotenuse? Which ratio? Yeah, sine. So I'll do sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Sine of 43 is opposite, which is x, over the hypotenuse, which is 4.7. Just go up here to finish it. From that, we get x is equal to 4.7 multiplied by the sine of 43. And I'll just use my calculator to figure that out. X is equal to 3.2. I'm not putting any units on it because there weren't any units given in the question. But X is equal to 3.2. So 3.2 centimeters or meters or inches or whatever that happens to be. Now we should be able to find side P because we have this, we now in this triangle have the right angle, a side length, and a second side length. So we should be able to find anything we want to in that triangle. What strategy are you going to use to find P? Pythagorean theorem. So c squared equals a squared plus b squared, right? But since we're finding a side that's not the hypotenuse, we're going to do p squared is equal to the hypotenuse, which is 3.7 squared, minus the other side, which is 3.2 squared. And I get p squared is equal to 3.45. But then I need to find p, and I do that by taking the square root. And it comes out to 1.9. Okay, here's the second one. Calculate the distance between point A and point D, which is labeled as B, right? Here's A, here's D, so this is the one we're trying to find. It's labeled B. This question is similar to the last one in that it has a side that's common to both triangles, and we're probably going to have to find that side. Because when you look at triangle ABD, you only know two pieces of information, the right angle and another angle. But if you look at triangle ABC, you have enough information to work with it. So I want you to start by trying to find the length of that side AB, that side that's common to the two triangles. All right, so to find that AB, I'm going to use tangent. The reason is it's the opposite side, and I know the adjacent. So I'll do tangent of 48 equals opposite, which is that side AB that we're trying to find, over the adjacent, which is 86. So side AB is going to be equal to 86 times the tangent of 48. So that side AB is 95.5 meters. That's in here, 95.5. But the question wasn't asking us for AB, right? The question is asking us for this side length here. But we needed to find AB to have enough information in this triangle, ABD, to be able to find that side. So now, if I look here, I have 51 degrees. I'm trying to find the opposite. And I know, which side is this? That's the hypotenuse of ABD, right? So opposite and hypotenuse, that's sine. Sine of 51 is opposite, which is B, over hypotenuse, which is the 95.5 that we found in the first part. So 95.5 multiplied by the sine of 51 degrees. And you get 74.2, or you could round it to 74 if you want to. I think I'll leave it as 74.2 meters. That's the answer. So again, it took 2 steps to get there.